Hi, I'm Thimothy with ClickX. For today's marketing hack, I want to talk about direct mail conversion tracking. Direct mail is still alive and well. A lot of industries still use it and they're getting very good ROI from it, and whether it's in the B2B sector or it's B2C. I've seen great metrics, right? Results that were generated from direct mail. So if any of you are using direct mail, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can measure and track and improve your ROI. First off, my hope is that at the end of this, you'll get some insights into tracking your direct mail effectiveness and being able to improve it over time. So first off, you want to include a call tracking number, and that's really the point here, is to use outbound strategy to really generate a phone call, like an inbound phone call, that you can then route that to anywhere you want, whether it's going to your sales department, whether it's going to a call center. So right off the bat, if your postcard looks something like this, you're able to put all of your messaging everywhere and put your URL that you want your direct mail campaign leads to go to, and have a unique phone number, right? This unique phone number allows you to track how many calls are coming in. You can really understand the number of phone calls, whether it's 10 phone calls, you generated 100 phone calls. You wouldn't have that insight if it goes to your regular phone line that you have for your business. And secondly, you're able to record every single one of those interactions that they're having with your brand to understand the quality of the call, the quality of the lead, the quality of the conversation. So it's really important that you can listen to those and improve the actual experience that customers are having when they dial in from a direct mail campaign. And another real cool feature is IVR, or being able to route the calls to different locations depending on when you drop the Ps, depending on whether it's after hours or not, depending on West Coast, East Coast, however you divide up your territory, you're able to route which calls go where. And I think it's really important as you scale up your direct mail efforts to figure out how do you want to best route it so that they can get answered as quickly as possible. And finally, if you wanted to actually include some sort of a recording, so the moment they dial that number, you can have some sort of a recording so that you can hear, some sort of a message so the customer can understand, okay, this is going to get answered in a minute, that it's getting routed to such and such department. So it's really important that you let the consumer know that their calls are really important, and also having a sort of a system in place that plays the same message over and over. So there's so many benefits to having call tracking. It surprises me how many people still don't implement call tracking on direct mail campaigns. Some things that I want to really emphasize on measuring is cost per phone call, right? If you can understand what it costs to generate one new lead and one new phone call, I think it's really important that marketers go backwards and really understand, okay, do I send 1,000 postcards, I get one phone call. So if I do 10,000, I should be able to generate 10 phone calls, right? That's just a hypothetical number. Now, every call doesn't necessarily mean it's a good lead. So you want to be measuring what does it cost to get a good lead that I can put them further down a funnel, right? So it's really important to understand total cost. Maybe it's $100,000. You generated 100 phone calls, right? So how many of them are actually good leads? So it's really important. And what I'm really getting at is to let the marketer understand what does it cost to generate one new net customer. And I think that's the number everybody's after, but it's really hard to do that when you don't have call tracking, when you don't have a really good system in place, and you have no idea how it's getting deployed and who's answering the phone call and who's keeping tabs of it. So in our case, what we've really done is we've implemented call tracking for all of marketing, right? Digital marketing and offline tracking. So in our dashboard at ClickX, we actually have the ability to track the calls depending on the day that it came. The caller ID is there, call recording is there. You can actually do the routing to wherever you would like to have. So it allows marketers to understand where is the calls are coming from. Is it offline? Is it online? Is it from SEO? Is it from paid search? Is it from social media? Is it from local? All these metrics have to be measured, and if you don't have some sort of an offline tracking, just like you would have an online conversion tracking, it's really impossible to understand the cost of a lead, cost of a phone call, and cost of a net new customer. So, and if you're actually a marketer and you're already implementing call tracking, I want to lead you with one last extremely high quality tip, I think, would be to really measure your messaging, the effectiveness of messaging, depending on what it is that you're offering, right? So in my case, I have two different offers here. One is messaging A and one is B. You can test to a different target, right? You can try two different personas and see which one is improving it. So you can do West Coast versus East Coast, like I said earlier. So you want to be continually testing, and I think that's the really key here is test, right? So really understand what's working and how many calls are being generated, what's it costing to get those calls and those leads, and what is it really going to take to generate one new customer. And if you can figure that out, then you would have all sorts of ideas on how you can test and improve and refine. As always, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment box. Thanks again for watching another edition of Marketing Hack of the Day.